Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to our only live stream of today. We are on Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are flying first off from Frankfurt down to Linate, down in Italy. It is not far from Milan. It is the closest airport to Milan, actually. And then we are going to fly from there. We're going to take off and head towards the Arnage, the airport right next to Circuit de la Sarthe. There is, right there, zooming in real quick, and then we'll get started here in a moment. There is Monza. And you can see still, if you know your Monza history, there's the old banked circuit there. That is no longer used, of course, but in many ways still exists, but is not used for racing anymore. So let's get in here. Flight setup. We are going to be pushing back from a gate there in Frankfurt, and then we'll taxi out to our takeoff runway. So we'll get in there and get everything all set up. Good morning, Patrick. And we will be airborne before we know it. No train simulator today. We're just going to do this and then these two flights, and then we'll call it a day. And of course, we're going to clean up this weather because we're not going to be flying in this. No thanks. No, let's get that weather. We want nice sunny weather on our flight today. There we go. Now before I start up everything, I'm going to turn off the ATC so that we have time to do everything. We don't get the craziness from my co-pilot who starts calling in everything as we I'm just gonna, all I'm gonna do is get this all turned on, and then call
Frankfurt clearance delivery. Froggy 237 IFR to Linate, ready to copy.
Froggy 237 is cleared to Linate Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 127.6 squawk tree 324.
Froggy 237 cleared to Linate Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 18 climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure on 127.6 squawk tree 324.
Froggy 237 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.955. Good day.
All right. 121.955. That. You're ready for pushback. Let's have a look here. 18 is just kind of go straight back.
Frankfurt ground, Froggy 237 requesting pushback.
Froggy 237 pushback request accepted.
We'll start up the engines once we get out there. I think if I got the right, if I remember everything right, we're just going to follow this taxiway all the way down, then we'll get our correct point there. Guess we can say steer to the right.
Frankfurt ground, Froggy 237 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
Froggy 237, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Frankfurt ground, Froggy 237 requesting the end of pushback.
Froggy 237, request to end pushback received.
The engine started up.
Frankfurt ground, Froggy 237 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
Froggy 237.
Good morning, Patrick, or good morning, Nick.
Runway 18 using taxiway November 4 November.
I'm okay.
Contact tower 18.781 when ready.
Yep. Perfect. Acknowledge the
Taxi
clearance,
to and hold short runway 18 using taxiway November 4 November Froggy 237.
Once the engines are stabilized, lovely red and gray and white Global Freightways flight today. Yeah, I'm doing okay, Mick. Doing okay. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you got your garden stone situation sorted out. Okay, let's go. Let's go for a little drive around the airport. Swing that big backside out and around. Alright, let's get a few other things set up. We don't have passengers. We'll throw on the seatbelt light and the no smoking sign. Why not? Morning, Joseph. How are you? Doing okay? Now, one of the things I will do also is I'll let my numpty co-pilot Clarence take over the radio as we get closer for our takeoff. I can assure you it is not a nice sunny day in Frankfurt right now. It was pouring down rain, but I turned on the sunshine. So we have a nice smooth flight all the way to Linate, down near Milan. And then we're going to swap over to the King Air 350i and do a flight from Linate to Arnage. And if you didn't see it before, Mick, at the very beginning, before we went into the startup, before we started up the flight, we found Monza. So we are flying from here from one major race town to another one. What's new with you, Mr. Adams? How are you? How have you been? More welcome to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Mick prefers to have his latte during the flight. He may need to hold somebody's hand from time to time. depending on what's going on as we come in for a landing. So if Abella's not here, be prepared for somebody else to hold Mick's hand. What else do I need to have set up for? These are all retracted. We don't need the runway lights on. Those lights on. Let's make sure we have our wing lights on, our strobe lights on. Beacon lights are on. We don't need the nav. Well, you know what? Let's put the nav on. Just because we can. Well, I got to lay white stones in the middle, and now she melted my card and bought a mega bag of stones for the. Oh, wow, Mick, you got a honeydew list. It sounds like. Oh. So I'm guessing you have me on out while you're out in the garden laying stones. Looks like we have a Dreamliner coming out to taxi. Now the question is he going to hold for us, or are we going to have to hold for them? Of course he's not going to hold for us.
Froggy 237, hold position, caution, the generics on the taxiway.
Hold position, Froggy 237.
Wow.
Froggy 237, continue taxi.
Roger, Froggy 237.
Well, at least we're racking up some taxi miles. That is an achievement in this game. I don't know if it is for the PC, if you get some sort of something saying that you completed taxiing so many miles. Here on the Xbox, I think it's like 100 miles or something like that, so I'll take the miles that I can get taxiing wise. Now if excuse me, I had a little frog in my throat. Oh, matter of fact, let me. Oh yeah, I did turn it back on. Just make sure. Now, if we don't get any word that we have an aircraft on approach or anything, then I'll do the traditional. We'll edge onto the runway, line it up, and then once we're at a stop, then we'll spool up and get out of town. But if there is an aircraft on approach coming into our runway 18, then if they give us clearance to take off, I'm gonna spool it up 50%, and then oh no, I'm at my machine. The wife is out with my mom choosing the stone. Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're relaxing before they return with the remainder of the honeydew list. So yeah, if we don't have anybody coming in on approach, then we'll do a nice stop and then we'll spool up. But if not, we'll spool up to 50%. Then we'll hit the loud pedal and get out of town, so that we're clear of the runway for that. Try to get clear of that before they're ready to land and all that. Or we may just wait. Well, hopefully you can enjoy as much of this as you can, Nick, before you have to lay stone. Alright, there's our runway. The stop point's coming up here, so we can contact the tower to say we are ready to depart. Everybody sit back, relax, enjoy the takeoff. Oop, wow, look at that. Somebody was on approach. Wide landings never look that good, I don't think. Oh, we weren't even told. We may have to wait a moment until that aircraft clears
Frankfurt,
off the runway.
Tower Froggy 237 at runway 18 ready for departure IFR to Linate.
Froggy 237 hold. Short
I salute you,
18.
Frankfurt Tower.
Traffic is
Thank you for
cleared on
your
the
help
runway.
today, getting us out to the. Oh, yep.
Hold
See,
short runway
we gotta
18
wait.
Froggy 237.
All right, let's make sure we have everything else set to
I
go.
verify 20 go around.
Wow.
Lufthansa
so,
825, turn next taxiway.
What in the world was that? That plane just came out of nowhere. What in the world did I just see? Alright, autopilot. We don't have to worry about a nav button. The flight director should automatically come on with the autopilot. Wow, that was kind of crazy.
Lufthansa 825, contact ground on 121.
Alright, here we go,
855.
folks. We are ready to...
Froggy 237,
Oh, I'm going to complain about a back end.
29.9 wind 269 at 3. Cleared for takeoff.
Ooh,
runway
you got
18.
it, Frankfurt. I salute you. Thank you for the information and the
Cleared for
clearance.
takeoff runway 18 Froggy
Clarence, you've
237.
got the clearance. Here we go.
121.855 for Lufthansa 825.
The best part of waking up is taking off with a latte in your cup. There's your little jingle for the day. Let's get lined up here as best as possible. There we go. Alright, here we are. Everybody ready? Spool up about 50%. Everything's set. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Da, 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 da.
Froggy 237 contact center on 127.6. Good day.
127.6 for Froggy 237. Center Froggy
There we are.
237 is passing 1,600 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Froggy 237, center altimeter 29.9 continue as planned.
And that's how we do that part. Very, very lovely takeoff. Zipping up to 8,000 feet here before we know it. Ooh, we got to get to 210 only. We are below. Okay, let's get the flight plan called up. All right, there we are. So we have that information available to us. We need it. Sure, the auto. I think the auto thrust automatically came on. Auto throttle, yep. Right. Our other lights are off. Good to go. I think we're only going to go up to about 26,000 feet on the flight today. Good morning, Daniel. How are you? I feel so honored. Daniel's on his days off and he's coming in and hanging out with us for a little while.
Froggy 237, climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots.
130.
Climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed not above 220 knots. Froggy 237.
Okay, we are on our way to Linate. Should be about well, it's probably going to be an hour total, gate to gate. Now that river here to our right, that should be the Neckar River, which flows down to Heilbronn. I've had a little snooze, I'll have some more soon. Well, you know, if Amela was here, Amela would probably give you a little bit of grief about that, Daniel. Coleman Army Airfield.
Froggy 237, climb and maintain flight level 220.
Right.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, Froggy 237.
I'm gonna go to 250, because why not? Well, now the interesting thing is, unlike our King Air 350i when we fly the global freightways, this logo, the little globe looking thing right there, is not on the tail. It's kind of weird. From the flight deck, we are expecting a smooth flight to Linate. They're near Milan, Italy. This is a non-service flight. This is a bring your own beverage, bring your own snack sort of thing. I think we can kind of feel like we should get up to 250 knots. Why not? Let's do it. We need to get a little speed going here. I think we're high up enough now that we're not going to be bothering anybody or anything. Alright, so that marker should be a Neki. Let's take a look here. A Neki, yes. On behalf of myself and First Officer Clarence, we hope you enjoy the flight today to Linate. Thank you for the compliment. I don't quite know how to pronounce your name since I can't read that language. I think it's Japanese, but I could be wrong. But thank you. Appreciate the wow. Alright, almost 220. Alright, after Naki Linate.
Froggy 237, climb and maintain
There
flight
we go.
level 260.
That's what I was expecting.
Climb and maintain flight level 260 Froggy 237.
That should be as high as we go today. We do not get into the stratosphere. Right, so the next one is Herby. Still just out there. Oh, there it comes. Alright. Hello, Amela. Welcome. Look out, Daniel. You're gonna catch some grief now, brother. Nick's still here, enjoying the view from his computer. Hopefully. So we got a follow-in flight after we land there at Linate. We will swap aircraft and we will create a flight from Linate to Arnage. That should be a quick flight as well, I do believe. Go back to the turboprop. Quite fond of that plane, I've become. Alright. We're now at our cruising altitude. I do believe we shouldn't... I don't think we'll get anything higher than this, but... Flight sim being flight sim, who knows what sort of craziness we're going to get. It'll be just my luck, they'll say, go to 30,000 feet. Or go to 32,000 feet. So hopefully we'll have, well, I don't think we'll be able to see Milan properly on the approach. So we're going to go down and kind of do a lazy left-hander and then come and do our lineup for our runway there. There's an airport down there. Huh. I know we were supposed to fly near Stuttgart, I think. So tomorrow we'll be back on Train Sim World 2. We'll do Hamburg to Lübeck. Do a service on Hamburg to Lübeck. And then we will fly I think there's a airport near Reims, France. So we may do a flight from Arnage up to Reims. Or maybe we'll fly around. Matter of fact, no, we're going to fly around Italy for a while. I think we've kind of wrapped up things in Germany, although we'll do an aerial tour eventually. One of the things for sure I'd like to do, because there's a boatload of landmarks up by Frankfurt, I'd like to do an aerial tour around Frankfurt. But I do want to do an aerial tour of Heilbronn and Heidelberg. If we do both, that would be fantastic. We'll take off in a nice slow plane and enjoy a nice slow flight. Try to be at a little bit low level so you can kind of see everything as much as possible. Yeah, we'll fly around Italy for a while. Have some fun with that. Alright, our next track is coming up. 3,000 feet. And that should be Nator. Yep. So, yeah, some good flights today, and then, yeah, tomorrow we'll do,
you are 51 miles north. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway
we're still under Frankfurt Air.
Transition. Cleared to Rylac.
Seems a bit odd. I mean, we've got to be pretty far away from our departure airport. I would figure we would have been in
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 34
like
approach
Munich
by
or
Rylax. Transition
something.
cleared to Rylax Air Baltic 641.
Congratulations, Air Baltics, on your clear to Rylax. Good on you. It's not every day that everybody gets Rylax, or so I'm told. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard around the water cooler. All right. We should be roughly just about halfway in, I think, or thereabouts, into our flight. we should get bumped over to a different center here any moment now, I do believe. I haven't looked at the forums lately to see if there's been any. I think tomorrow they'll have an update on, like, I think weekly they do a roadmap update of what's going on, and they do communicate. I don't think they've rescheduled the Q&A session yet. That was abruptly canceled or put on hold as one of the members was unexpectedly out of town. One of the folks who from Asobo, I think, that normally does the Q&A session. So haven't heard anything about a when they're going to do a rescheduled one.
1832, contact Zurich Center on 126.225. Good day.
Interesting. Okay, so we should be getting close. I know we're supposed to go over Zurich.
126.225 Air France 1832.
So Air France 1832 might be in front of us somewhere. I'm guessing. Wait, the FRA is our next marker there. We're just eating up the miles here.
Air Baltic 641, contact Zurich approach on 125.33. Good day.
Going to 125.33 Air Baltic 641.
So we got about 160 miles. $181 miles, I'm sorry. We got about 181 round miles to go to get to Linate, roughly. So that didn't seem like that came out correctly, that calculation.
North Shuttle 1404, contact Zurich Center on 126.225. Good day.
So 2580 was our cruising altitude.
126.225 for North Shuttle 1404.
FRA is our next one there. So after FRA, I think there's one more marker, and then we should start seeing our reductions in altitude in preparation for landing at Linate. The only question is going to be, I think those aren't super high peaks. We'll certainly get over them at 26,000 feet, I do believe. But we may have to temper our reductions in altitude in preparation to go over those mountains.
237, contact Zurich Center on
There we go.
126.225. Good day.
More than halfway into the flight, we finally go to Zurich. Frankfurt, that's a pretty far reach for Frankfurt Center, I think.
Zurich Center, Froggy 237, flight level 260.
Froggy 237 Zurich Center, continue to Tango Romeo, Alpha is planned.
Oh, I thought it was FRA. It's TRA. Can't read this morning, apparently. Yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky going over those mountains, I think. Luckily, we don't have any... It should be a smooth flight, so it shouldn't be any turbulence to upset Bix Latte. We don't like to spill Mix Latte if we can help it. Alright, TRA, we are going past that one. Okay, so there's our first reduction in altitude there. I feel like even at 22,400 we'd be okay. There's Zurich. I was going to do a flight from Frankfurt to Zurich, but I thought, well, that would have been a very short flight. So, no, I figured this would be a much more exciting, going over the hills and going in towards Milan. And there's Switzerland, basically, right there. Zurich. And so I think Zurich will control us until we get probably on the other side of the mountains. Or as we get ready to go over the mountains, we will probably change centers again. So... KESEX Kessex is next. That's the one in front of us there. I feel like at 22,400 we'd still make it over those mountains, but
Lufthansa 1825 traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 320 generic. Report them in sight. American 333 traffic is 2 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 340 generic. Report them in sight. American 333 traffic in sight.
Lufthansa, you better say you can see the traffic.
Lufthansa 1825 has the
There you
generic
go.
in sight.
Alright, now it's going to be the tricky part, managing our descent. I think the next one we are going to be at, it should be at a much, well, not much lower, but it'll be at a lower altitude. Decisions. We've got a lot of mountain to go over. I feel like it's safer to stay at 26,000 feet. We won't be skimming the tops of the hills there. But we don't want to do that. Alright, tracking. We got a lot of tracks, or a lot of waypoints coming up, and we're going to be tracking. So we should be kind of getting ourselves lined up, and then eventually we'll do that lazy lefter into Linate. That's 20,000 feet. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit dangerous to start descending over these mountains. But it means we're going to end up it's going to be a very hectic situation to prepare for our lineup into Linate. Mosset is that one, and then Kelp or Celtic. All right, 19,000. This presents a very challenging situation for sure. I feel like if I start descending at any moment, we could invariably end up flying into a mountain. No, we're going into Italy, Amela. We just passed, we're going from Switzerland now into Italy. So we passed from Germany into Switzerland, and now we're on our way into Italy. No, we will go to France eventually. Well, we're going to go to France today, actually. We are going to go from Linate to Arnage, the airport that is right next to the Circuit de la Sarthe, the home of the 24-hour Le Mans. So we are going to do that today as well. That's our follow-on flight. We're going to be switching back to the 350i and have a nice follow-on flight to Arnage. Flying in the Global Freightways livery again, as we're taking parts from Ferrari maybe to France, to Arnage for testing. On the Bugatti circuit. Now the Bugatti circuit at Le Mans, I believe, is open year-round, whereas the Circuit de la Sarthe is only open for practice qualifying in the race itself, because the like Mulsanne Straight and all that, a bunch of other stuff is regularly used roads the rest of the year. I do believe the Bugatti circuit is open.
Foggy 237 descend and maintain 17,000 feet.
Okay, we will do that because that's
Descend
what they
and
told
maintain
us to do.
17,000 feet, Froggy 237.
So I'm glad I didn't want to wait much longer because I was getting worried that it was going to be a bit more of a challenge to manage our approach into Linate, but that's some beautiful scenery here. Like small towns here in these mountainous areas, in these valleys, it looks like. It must get really cold in the winter. I bet you it's very peaceful there. Something popped up over. Is it Ambry? I don't know if it's like a port or a little lake here. Look at this. Oh, Mick, I think I found your place for a stroopwafel stand. Look at this. Oh, man, that looks like a little slice of heaven right there. Stroopwafel latte stand right there at the edge of that lake. Oh, man. That sounds amazing. Any of these towns would be a nice... Yeah, there's the airport. Oh, man, could you imagine the approach into that place? Oh. Hold on, I gotta write that place down. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to take that challenge.
1404 contact Milan Center on 124.925. Good day.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be VFR. I bet you the entire way. Oh, some canyon flying. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It would be absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. You're gonna have to... Oh, either way you come in, that's gonna be a doozy of an approach. Right, let me out of here. Look at this. There's all these little towns down there. Oh, and you got an airport too. Little airport there. Oh god, that's gotta be... Oh man. I'm surprised that wasn't one of the landing challenges right there. Look at that. And I bet you it's on a slope too. I don't know, it's hard to tell if it's flat or if it's on a slope. Oh, man. We got to fly through there one day. If we could figure out it... Oh, well, there's an air base. Wow. Oh, the pilots must love flying in and out of there. Oh, boy, the town people must just get... Especially if they have jets coming in and out of that air base. Oh, man. But if I was a pilot, oh, could you imagine taking off and just going up in this valley? It's like cruising straight through, like you're, you know. Yes, Nick, that's what I'm thinking. But I like to do a nice slow flight too. From somewhere. Alright, we should get Milan Center coming up soon too, I think. So far, I feel like... Alright, if we look ahead at our... So we still got all this, and then we will kind of... So we've got this marker here ahead of us. Canne. C-A-N-N-E. And then... So I think we'll be okay, because we're coming to the end of the...
Froggy 237 descent and maintain
14,000
feet.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet, Froggy 237.
Yeah, I'm gonna trust the ATC because I feel like if I had been doing that on my own, we would have crashed. Okay, there's an airport. Locarno? I gotta write down that one. That's a good takeoff one, and oh, I could already see it in a little 152. Yes. We'll take off and try to be only like at 1,500 feet the entire way. Maybe 2,000 feet and just go through the valley there. Oh man. Oh, it looks like it's got a grass strip too. Maybe there's the regular airfield. I wonder if that grass strip is with the airfield there, or that airport. Oh man, look at that, Mick. Oh, a little cabin, a little what do you call it? A little not a cabin, but a little cottage. There we go.
And maintain 4,900 feet.
Okay, if you say so.
Descend and maintain 4,900 feet, Froggy 237.
Little cottage right there on the lake. Oh, man. Can you imagine that? Wake up in the morning and just have your latte or your tea or your coffee or whatever right there on the lake in the morning. Maybe take a walk along the... Yeah. Take a walk along the lake there. No worries about garden stones or nothing, Mick. Oh, we're gonna have to slow down to 210 as we come out of altitude there. Well, that was quite a gamble, waiting on air traffic control to give us some directions. I'm glad we did it. Oh, there's another airport right there. See, this is all areas that I've always wanted to visit in Italy. These lake regions. Gano. Wow. It's a pretty good size airfield there.
1726 is passing flight level 400, descending 10,000 feet.
Air Malta 39er, 5 contact Milan Center on 124.925. Good day. Westward 1726.
Oh, look at that. Oh, man.
Going to 124.925 Air Malta 39er 5.
Froggy 237 contact Milan Center on 124.925. Good day.
Alright, we gotta get down in speed.
124.925 Frog 7. Milan Center Froggy 237 is passing 9,300 feet, descending 4,900 feet.
Froggy 237 Milan Center altimeter 0.9 continue to descend as planned.
Well, I tell you, this is a nice descent into Milan, into our airport there.
Going to 126.75 Froggy 237. Approach Froggy 237 is at 8,800 feet, descending 4,900 feet.
Froggy 237 approach altimeter 29.92 continue to descend as planned.
Watch, they'll bounce us back to Milan. Oh man, I'm glad we picked this one today. Yep, nice, relaxing view, nice scenery. Look at that. That is just fantastic. That was a nice flight over those mountains and coming into these nice lake regions here in Italy. Looks like, is that a train yard? It's like a freight yard there. I could be wrong. Well, it does look like a train station or something, maybe. Yeah, that is a train. It's like a depot of some kind. Oh man, look at that. That is just, oh man, I'm daydreaming. I don't even want to, I can't even fly right now. I'm just like in La La Land with these lake regions and oh, there's a water airport right there. Look at it. It looks like a football right there too. Right on the water. Oh man, I tell you. Alright, we're finally getting to our altitudes here. I think, let's take a look again here. Okay. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to make a track up to there. I think once we pass this marker here, then I'm going to start reducing our altitude and getting ready to land. Matter of fact, we're going to put on the landing lights. Oh, we don't need those. Those can be on. All right.
Froggy 237, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
All right. After we get to 3,000 feet, I'm going to reduce.
3,000 feet, Froggy 237.
Start reducing our speed here.
Froggy 237, you are 16 miles northwest. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 36 approach via undapped
Yep, there we
transition.
go.
Clear to undapped.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS Yankee runway 36 approach via undapped transition. Cleared to undapped, Froggy 237.
All right. There we are, folks. Let's get down to 180, and we'll put our first level of flaps down. That'd be a good plan. We don't want to freak out the folks. Try to slow down and try to keep the noise to a minimum. Yeah, this has been a really nice flight. I'm so pleased with that view. I didn't know what to expect, but man, that alone was worth it. So if there's our airport, Milan should be somewhere right around here, if I remember correctly. It's like a grass strip right there. Yeah, looks like a private sort of airfield, possibly. Oh, we're gonna have some fun flying around Italy, that's for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, for sure. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so there's our lineup here. So we're going right to there. So we're going to go straight, and then we're going to start a lazy left-hander into Undap, and then we will go there left again, and then we'll pick up our approaches. So do stick around. We got one more flight to do. Hopefully some more lovely scenery. As we go to France. Now I'd like to find, for racing fans may know the name that I'm about to say, but I'd like to find his hometown, Tazio Nuvolari. I'd like to find, I think I found it quite by accident, the region around about where he was born, but I can't be 100% certain. I have to look. I don't even know if there's even a small airport near there. It'd be great if there was, that we could actually fly. Famous Italian driver, drove for Alfa Romeo back in the day. Drove maybe for Mercedes-Benz as well. During the years leading up to World War II, I think he drove for them. There was a book about him. I used to have it. I don't know what I did with it, but really fascinating person. It's a really interesting book. I think one of the years I was at Amelia Island for the car show, Concours d'Elegance, they had his driver's vest on display there with Alfa Romeo. Had a bunch of, they had some classic cars. They had a I forget, there's pictures of it on my Flickr actually. Yeah, they had his driver's vest, and I think his, well, what was like the driver's helmet, which wasn't much. That's for sure. All the safety stuff back then was not very safe. Yeah, it was very, very nice to see that. And you know, it was all behind a glass case, of course, because they don't want people touching it or whatever, but it was nice to see that piece of motorsports history there. While you were waiting to line up, I'm going to step away for just a moment. Okay.
Speed down about 200 knots.
Yeah, we are below 200 knots.
200 knots, Froggy 237.
I already kind of anticipated that. All right, so we are still turning into Undop, and then we've got a little bit more to go. Let's dial that back to 10. And then it's Sorup. So, also, a couple of things talking about motorsports and stuff. Goodwood put out a video, I think last night. I don't know when it was posted, but I saw it last night, I think, on YouTube. It's a nice tribute to Sir Sterling Moss. They did the top 5 moments of his time at the Goodwood Revival. So do go check that out. I think if you just type in Goodwood Revival Sterling Moss, it should come up. It's the most recent video. Also, if you've never seen it or even heard it, there's a mythical car. It's not even mythical, it's real. Called the Beast of Turin. And it is if you go to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, it is one of those cars that it does one of the early runs up the hill to set a time, but it is absolutely phenomenal to see and hear. So if you get a chance, Google that one as well. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there about the Beast of Turin. But watch the run up the hill. It is just amazing. All right, there's our approach. So once we get to that marker, I'll turn on the approach mode here soon. I think we're going to go ahead and get down to 160 in preparation. So it should be it's going to be a very tight left. We're probably going to go off track here. Yeah, we're going to go off just a bit, I think. Turn, turn, turn. There you go. Whoa's a good plane. You're such a good plane. Yeah, I figured you'd like that, Mick. But the one for Sterling Moss, it was, you know, some of the different cars he drove there at the revival. I thought that was really cool of them to do that. Let's go ahead and get the landing gear down.
Froggy 237, you are 13 miles south of Linate. Contact Linate Tower on 118.41 inbound on the approach.
Tower on 118.4 Froggy 237. Linate Tower Froggy 237 12 miles south inbound ILS Yankee runway 36 approach.
Froggy 237 Linate Tower. Altimeter 29er.9er 2
Ooh, wow.
69er at tree.
There's our markers already.
Yankee runway 36 approach.
Cleared ILS Yankee runway 36 approach Froggy 237.
Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty nice thing for them to do. Of course, Sterling is a very popular driver. Won some races, but never the world championship. But yeah, very. All right, there's our last flap. For now, we'll drop a little bit more flap as we get ready to. All right, there we go. Got our glide slope. But the Beast of Turin, oh my goodness. The first time I saw that, I was blown away. It is absolutely phenomenal. But I was fortunate to see the first time I went to the Monterey Historics, I saw Sterling Moss in that beautiful Mercedes he won the Mille Miglia in.
Froggy 237, follow the generic on final. Wind 269.
Oh, no. There's a generic on
Clear to
final.
land runway 36
Oh, that
Froggy
means there's a plane in
237.
front of us. You know what that means, folks. We are going to have to go around. I guarantee you we're going to have to go around. That plane, whatever it is not going to get off the runway in time for us to land. Doggone it. Man, we had such a nice lineup. Oh, goodness gracious. That plane better get off the runway forthwith. I do not want to do a go-around. Because I'd have to look up the procedures.
1,000.
When I'm ready to, KTM. Not yet. I would have to do some practice off stream. So, not yet. But that would require a much longer flight than I'm prepared to stream. In one, well, I mean, we're gonna. I think, you know, a couple hours is good. Anything more than that, it starts to get a little too. It starts to be a bit much. All right, let's go ahead and get the last bit of flaps down. All right, so it looks like we're okay. The runway is clear. So you shouldn't have to do a go around. All right, thank you for your time, Clarence. We have. Oh, God bless it! I knew it.
100.
Doggone it!
Going around Froggy 237.
Froggy 237, contact approach on 126.75.
Bastard!
Good day.
You gotta be kidding me! We had that.
126.75 for Froggy 237. Approach Froggy 237 is missed approach at Linate.
Froggy 237, climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
Doggone it! You've got to be kidding me!
Froggy 237, climb and maintain 9,000 feet. Froggy 237, climb and maintain 9,500 feet. Froggy 237, climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
Bastard!
Froggy 237, you are 2 miles north. Climb and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect VOR DME runway 36 approach via undapped transition. Clear to undapped.
I knew it!
Climb and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect 4 DME runway
Doggone
36
it.
approach via undapped transition. Clear to undapped Froggy 237.
1,000.
Oh, come on. We gotta get up in altitude. I do not want to crash. Oh, Christ. Climb, damn it. There we go. Okay. I forgot I turned off the... Oh, we're going to crash. We are going to so crash.
500.
Oh! I don't know, Mick. It didn't even say for him to clear. That's the thing.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb 3,000 feet.
Oh, I am so pissed. Oh, you know what? We're not even going to go to... Our Dodge is canceled. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm not... This is BS. You've got to be kidding me. We had such a nice lineup and everything. Oh, I am so pissed. I'm sorry. I so want to curse right now. We had that.
Approach Froggy 237 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Froggy 237, continue to undapped turning and following heading 170.
Continue
Alright,
to
I think
undapped
we're good.
turning and following heading 170 Froggy 237.
I can't believe that after all that. We had a perfect lineup and everything too. And there wasn't even there was no instruction. Whoever landed, there was nothing to say. Turn next taxiway or anything. It was like he might as well have been sitting there, Mick. I can't believe it. I gotta turn off that. I gotta turn off approach mode. I gotta turn that off. I can't believe that. That is such BS. All that nice flying to have it ruined by some jackass sitting on the runway who couldn't expedite his exit off the runway.
Approach Froggy 237 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Froggy 237, continue to adapt turning and following heading 200.
Continue to adapt turning and following heading 200 Froggy 237.
I think that's Undop right there. So we're basically gonna have to fly that track again. I cannot believe that. Yeah, we'll do the flight from here to Arnage tomorrow. I'm so disappointed right now. I don't even want to try to fly to Arnage now. We'll do that tomorrow.
Approach Alitalia 1714 is passing 9,500 feet, descending 3,100 feet. Alitalia 1714, approach altimeter 29.902, continue as planned.
Alright, I think I'm going to have to fly this manually. I kind of feel like.
Froggy 237, keep speed 9 above 200 knots.
Alright, let's go to 180 and
Keep
drop
speed
some
not above
flaps.
200 knots Froggy 237.
Why am I climbing? I don't want to climb. Oh, because I'm flying manually and because the nose lifted as we went into our turn. Let's see if we can get the autopilot back on. Flight director. Oh, he's... Well... Oh, yeah, it's gonna... Well...
Froggy 237 traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 4,300 feet generic. Report them in sight. Alitalia 1714 traffic is 10 o'clock 3 miles at 3,000 feet Airbus A320n. Report them in sight.
Froggy 237 have the generic in sight.
Alright, we should go
Alitalia
back to runway.
1714 have the Airbus A320n in sight.
There we go.
Alitalia 1714 airport is 13 miles at your 12 o'clock. Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Report runway in sight. Descend and maintain 2,300 feet. Alitalia 1714. Alitalia 1714 has the runway in sight. Alitalia 1714, you are 11 miles south of Linate. Maintain present heading and altitude. Contact Linate Tower on
Well,
119.
Alitalia is going to have to go around, I guarantee you that.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Tower on 119.25 Alitalia 1714.
Because I don't care at this point. We're putting this thing on the ground one way or the other. I don't care if I have to glide right over an aircraft sitting on the runway. We're putting it on the ground. This is ridiculous. I mean, I know I get that that happens in real life sometimes, but there was nothing to indicate that the aircraft was even on the runway. It sounded like they landed and they cleared. There was no radio communication whatsoever. Unbelievable.
Froggy 237, descend and maintain 2,100 feet.
Descend and maintain 2,100 feet, Froggy 237.
Approach with air 629er 7 is passing 9,500 feet, descending 4,000 feet.
With air 629er 7, approach altimeter 29er.9 continue to knock as planned.
2,500.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to get versed in go-around procedures because I was not expecting that. And everything just kind of started to fall apart there at the last minute.
Froggy 237, descend and maintain 1,200 feet.
Descend and maintain 1,200 feet, Froggy 237.
think our localizer is locked in. Near as I could figure is we're lined up on the runway.
Froggy 237, you are 5 miles south of Linate. Contact Linate Tower on 118.41 inbound on the approach.
Tower on 118.4 Froggy 237.
1000.
Linate Tower Froggy 237 5 miles south inbound 4 DME runway 36 approach.
Oh, we lost our ILS approach,
Froggy
that's
237
why.
Linate Tower.
But we had to go around, we had to go VOR DME.
Wind 269er at tree. Cleared 4 DME runway 36 approach. Froggy 237 wind 269er at tree. Cleared to land runway 36.
Cleared 4 DME runway 36 approach Froggy 237.
I don't know if we're absolutely 100% lined up, though. I think we are. It looks like we are. But it's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Alright.
500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 5.
Not my smoothest landing, but you know what? Welcome to Linate, everybody.
Froggy 237 turn next taxiway. Froggy 237 turn next taxiway. Froggy 237 contact ground on 121.8.
One two 1.8 Froggy 237. Linate ground Froggy 237 request taxi to parking.
Froggy 237 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Lima Alpha cross runway 17 Alpha Bravo Charlie.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Lima Alpha cross runway 17 Alpha Bravo Charlie Froggy 237.
I don't see markers. Okay. I'm not seeing any sort of tells me the parking's over there. Well, you know what? We'll find a parking spot and shut down the engines. At least we're clear of the runway, not like somebody else that caused the hiccup. Best laid plans always go down the tubes. Let's park over there. Very short runway here. No, it seemed like maybe it's only supposed to be like the commuter jets. You know, like the Citation or something like that that are probably more appropriate landing here than this behemoth. Certainly the 350i would have, I think we would have had better luck landing, getting a taxi and all that. I don't think this is supposed to be here. Quite honestly, it looked like you could, but we did. We had plenty of runway to land the 320. But I don't think when it comes to where we were going to park this thing, I don't think that's something. I don't think this aircraft is traditionally meant to be here. So we'll pull onto the this looks like grass. I don't know that it is, but that's what it looks like. Maybe it's just a run or taxiway that is painted green. We'll go down to the end here. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Sorry I got a little heated, but that just perplexed me. There was nothing to indicate. We knew that there was somebody on approach ahead of us, but there was no indication that they had landed. There was no instruction for that aircraft that we heard to clear the runway. So I assumed that everything was fine. And of course, last minute, just as we get over the runway and I've powered down and we're ready to set this thing down, that's when we get the call to go around. All right, there we are. Hour 23 flying time. We're almost at 80 hours total. We're on our way towards 100 hours on our for our pilot. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I was going to do that follow-on flight to our nage, but after that, I need to take a moment away. Yeah, depending on how small that plane is, and even if they're fairly small, they could have turned, as soon as they got down to a safe speed, they could have turned off somewhere and cleared the runway for us. So I don't know, but that's what perplexed me, Mick, was that it sounded like we knew there was an aircraft in front of us on final, but after that, there was no communication like we normally hear telling whoever just landed to turn off as soon as possible. Turn off next taxiway or whatever, so that they could have cleared the runway for us. So when I did hear that, it was like, okay, the person just like ended everything there. We're fine to go. As soon as they touched down, they just, basically ended the flight. So it didn't seem to me, as we went over the airfield, that there was anything there anyway. I could have probably set it down and just been done with it. But I didn't want to take that chance that we were going to end up causing a crash or whatever. So, yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow morning on Hamburg to Lübeck, Train Sim World 2. And then we'll do the flight from Linate to our nage in the King Air 350i. Okay? Matter of fact, let me just edit that part out and update the description. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Peace, live long, and prosper.